Okay, so happy Pride Month. We are finally in Pride Month, the best month of the year, personally for me, as I'm LGBTQ, more toward the A, but nobody ever said the A is there. So we're gonna shift the topic from toxic parent to LGBTQ related topics. This episode is gonna be about just being queer and how that's affect me growing up, where the environment that I was in. Um, Last week I didn't get to the recording. It's really hard to struggle, just struggling to do like working between jobs, and then trying to do this. So I just needed a break. But the algorithm does not want to give me a break because it's evil. Everybody have to keep feeding it every week. Otherwise, you're just gonna go back to the bottom of that. Yeah, so it's this is a hobby. Like I don't want to do it full time. I have to crank out like content like every week and keep it consistent. Like my mind can't even do anything that's like just it just need a break. Like I have depression problems. I have other problems. Okay. So just then you know why last week there was no episode. So I was talking to a friend of mine and he was like I was saying that the cost of living in certain places like New York, um, San Francisco, those big cities, Seattle, are too expensive. But these big cities are the only few places that are LGBTQ friendly. Like I grew up in a small town in the country, somewhere in the Midwest. It was very not LGBTQ friendly. Uh, if you're different, like you're either the jock or the popular girl. So if you're neither one of those, you get picked on and people do mean things to you. And gay people who like if you act flamboyant or if you're looking like a butch lesbian, they would know that. And they would also make fun of you too. So it's not safe for LGBTQ people to live in those places, but when you are younger, you don't have a choice. You just have to deal with it. So my friend was saying, like, why don't you just move out somewhere more affordable? And I was like, dude, I came from that environment. It was horrible. Like people were picking at me in high school, grade school, and like there are people that know that the LGBT at a very young age. Like we're talking about first grade, second grade, third grade. You don't have to wait to high school or become an adult to know that you're LGBTQ. I went to a like it's like an anonymous LGBTQ meeting, like instead of alcohol, it's LGBTQ people. And someone on that meeting said that they know they were LGBTQ at a young age when they look at a box of like those advertisement of like uh uh you know the some medicine you take and have like a picture of a man on it or something and they're like, oh, I find that's attractive. uh so marketing on those label, the I guess it's how people or like those just like maybe you buy like a certain brand and you have like a man or woman on the brand label. But I thought it was interesting. And then one of my other friend who's close to me, they told me that they know it since they were very young, like when they were a child, because they would hate wearing boy clothes. They would always want to buy girl clothes, and they was just comfortable with that. So they don't like having short hair. They like having long hair. So there's different. time throughout your life where you find that. I have always known that I was different from when I was a child, but people just call that like, oh, you're a tomboy, but it's as much in complex. It's complex than that. Like I'm not. I don't like to say bisexual because then people will be like, oh, so you go both ways. Like, no, I'm more of an asexual. Like, I don't find the typical romance thing, just like kissing, making out, sex interesting to me at all. Like, you have to understand me on an intellectual level. I don't want any of those physical stuff. And, you know, I just never got into it. Whether it's with man or woman, it's like I don't care for your body part. I don't really care for any of those. I just need you to understand me on a higher level rather than anything physical like kissing or having sex. And that y- you can outsource that stuff to somebody else. And I don't want to participate in any of those stuff. That's it. There was time that I was exploring to know that. And I was like, yeah, I'm done exploring. And I met one of my coworkers recently tell me something like, um, and then he was like, yeah, but since you never come, then like, how do you know that you don't like it? I was like, if I want to do that, I can use a sex toy, in which I did. So like, I don't need your penis to make me feel good. It's it's like, why do like why do straight cis men always think that their penis can make people like any woman feel better instantly because they're so magical? Okay, so like if you can do that, just go buy a sex toy. You can do that with your finger. Just do it on your own. You don't need a penis. Seriously, it's just like I think it's gross that men go around advertising themselves like that. It's like, but I don't want it. And if I don't want it, and you would say that I'm a lesbian or something, it's not that. It's just I don't like physical contact or anybody part that involved. That's it. People just have the ego hurt and they just say, "Oh, you just don't like men." It's like I don't like women either. Is the type of people that I'm attracted to, not your gender. So let's talk about the gender. It's not so much about the label of man or woman. It's more about the role that people put you in. This is why non-binary was created. It's because we were born with our biological gender, male or female. That's fine. It is your biological gender, whatever, is just a label. But when people like put you in a box, so you have to play a role. So if you're a female, you have to be femme. You have to wear these skimpy clothes, walking around, so men can look at you. Or if you're a boy, you gotta act tough. You can't cry because crying is weak. It's very toxic. This is why people just don't want to be associated with any of those labels because traditionally people put you in a role that you don't want to. That's what say to people when they don't understand the non-binary concept. It's like, but you have to pick one or the other. No, I don't, because I refuse to play the stupid role that you de- by default put me in. I do not want to play the role of anybody, any gender. So, there's different um, subcategory in the LGBTQ community too, which is a lot. We're not going to cover all of them, but the main one that is closest to me is asexual and non-binary. But just it's in a general sense, it's easier for people to come out if they have more of open-minded parent than others. My parents are extremely traditional. If they ever know that I ever dated a girl, they would freaking probably hit me and lock me up somewhere because they're crazy. Like it's it's hard for others to come out. So because of the certain environment, your home, the place you live in, which is why we have to go to these gathering a small community that support LGBTQ people. And the straight cis people think it's too much that we have a whole month dedicated to LGBTQ people. It's like, do you understand that you walk around and you play your role? Nobody is going to pick on you. Nobody is going to beat you up. This is what I tell my friend because he's just so like, everything I tell him, he would just be like, yeah, but it's not that bad. I walk around, nobody pick on me. Like, it's like, yes, because you're a cis straight man and you have that bulky figure. If you're a flame boy that is skinny and you walk around, you act like, you talk a certain ways, people would notice that and they would pick on you. If I were to cut my hair and look more like a butch lesbian, then they would pick on me too. I just don't like that look. I like who I am, but I just don't like the role that society put me in. So I refuse to play that game, which is why I am identified as non binary. It is an important label for people who have traumatic experience of growing up in a very traditional Asian household where I'm being forced into a role that I don't want and that my parent would hit me if I don't. If I don't speak softly, I get hit by my mom. If I if I don't wear the clothes she buy me, she would hit me and say that I'm ungrateful. It's that intense for some of us. And just to belittle our experience and saying that you don't like it's not that bad. That's just you. Other people have it bad. And I was meeting this friend of mine, group of friends, and then they were making stupid comment like, "Oh, trans people are like transformer, like they just transform themselves," and like it's just so stupid. It's like, do you know that people don't choose to like cut off their penis or whatever because just for fun? They have some dramatic experience. That's why they do it. It's a painful process. Why don't you go and try to cut off your own penis to see how much it hurt? So it's the layer of insecurity from cis straight people that they feel necessary to make these jokes about the gay, the lesbian, the trans. It's like they're not funny. I'm LGBTQ and I don't think it's funny. And then they're gonna say, "Oh, it's just a joke." It's not a joke. It is a mocking of who we are and why we have to fight for what we believe in because cis white straight people or just generally cis straight people don't have to be white. Sorry. Um yeah, so they're just like, oh, but that's not normal. You're weird. It's like this been happening since the ancient Roman they were gay. There's nothing weird about it. So, you know, happy Pride Month and just be happy that you accept you for who you are and just ignore other people's judgment because at the end of the day it's it's what make you happy, what identity make you happy, and nothing else matter. Until next time, enjoy Pride Month.